Welcome to Friday Update. Okay, so I want to start off by saying to the two guys that commented on my last video, by the two guys I mean the same guy that made two very negative comments. I don't know why I said it was two different guys, but anyway, so this one guy, he kind of made a comment saying, "Oh dude, your life it sucks." First of all, I have games, movies, TV, playing with my rabbits, and driving my grandma places to get out of the house, and stuff like that to keep me occupied so I don't focus on the negative. Sure, if you hear my life story, it's depressing, but only as depressing as you make it. You can either focus on all the negative and take it as me being emo, being depressed all the time, or you see it in a positive light, saying that I'm making the best of what I have. Please excuse the sound of my voice, because allergies and stuff, but to the guy who said that my life sucks, that my life sucks, I actually understand where you're coming from, but please don't comment stuff like that, or else me and you are gonna have a problem. And just don't leave comments like that. But if you say if you leave comments like, "Oh, dude, I promise it'll get better," that I'm okay with. But the other guy made a very negative comment. Left two comments. Said, "Oh, wow." And another one going on a rant saying that he thinks I'm emo, depressed. He started off by calling me a faggot queer. Okay, I might be a little feminine sometimes. I go overboard with my emotions, but that doesn't mean I'm gay, and that doesn't mean I'm emo. And he even concluded saying, "Go kill yourself." Okay, first of all, I'm not depressed. Okay, I may have been pointing out all the negative aspects of my life because when I did my last video, I was having a bad day. But like, out of that whole entire week, that was the only bad day I was having. It was the first bad day in quite a while. So how am I depressed? And saying stuff like, "Oh, go kill yourself," you shouldn't say that. And like, my friend Bailey, who... I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of blurry, but this is her page. I'll show you my favorite picture of her. Look at her, she's gorgeous. And she's actually very, very, very sweet. And she even has a blog, which I'll leave a link to her blog in the description. Hopefully it works. But go check out her blog. And she even blogged about this, I think back in December. I don't remember how long ago it was, but yeah. How she was in class and these two guys in front of her were quizzing each other, and one of them said, well, this is actually on a different topic, but I think she blogged about how she hears people joke around about like, "Oh, if I get this wrong, I'm gonna kill myself." And she was very bothered by that, and also in that same blog, she mentioned how these guys were talking about how, "Oh, if you get this question wrong, I'll rape you," as a joke. And earlier that day, she had been watching a show where one character got date raped by another character. And yeah, that did not sit well. And she went on a rant that I totally agree with, saying that, you know, sexual harassment and sexual assault is not okay to joke about. It's not something to talk about unless it's absolutely necessary. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to admit something. When Stephanie was alive, whenever I was over at her house, behind closed doors in private, you know, she even told me that because I'm a recovered porn addict and because I get it from my real dad and he's a sex addict and he's a pervert, to kind of get perverted. Because all guys have had temptations to do perverted things like compliment a girl on her body, you know, sometimes even grab her butt. But with Stephanie, she didn't care if I did that. But let me specify something. I did compliment her on her body, and I did occasionally touch her butt, but like it was behind closed doors and we were joking around. It was in private. Again, we were joking around. It was nothing to be taken seriously. And then afterward, I always apologized because I felt embarrassed. And she said that she would be the outlet to get that kind of stuff out of my system. To get that stuff out of my system, so when I'm around other women, I'm not tempted to do that shit. Because she said it was okay, that makes it okay. And I always made sure it was behind closed doors, in private. So that, now you can look at me and say, oh, you're a fucking creep. Guess what? She was the only person I did that. And towards the end of her life, I kept my hands to myself. And in public, I kept my hands to myself. I respected her. So how am I a creep? And so, I mean, I mean, sure, I, you know, had my arm around her and I hugged her in public, but that's it. That's it. It's not like every time we were in private, I, you know, in other words, violated her. It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't all the time. It was just every once in a while because, you know, she had a rough life, especially at home because her dad was an abusive alcoholic. So most of the time she was in a bad mood. So I was really just there to comfort her and respect her. So yeah, that's my little rant. And she was supportive about it. In fact, we even joked around about it. And I know it's kind of creepy, you know, reminiscing on that because she's dead now. But I'm just saying that to get my point across. Most of the time, I was respectful. And to kind of wrap this up, you know, me and Bailey, you know, Bailey, she kind of reminds me a little bit of Stephanie. Just a little bit. And in fact, go follow her on Instagram. I'll leave the name of her Instagram in her main account, I mean, in the description. But yeah, you should always respect people. Don't joke about stuff like, oh, go kill yourself, or oh, I'm gonna rape you. That's not acceptable. And if you guys still think I'm a creep because of what I did with Stephanie, okay, first of all, she knew me well enough that she trusted me. She didn't care. It's not sexual harassment, and it's not inappropriate if she's okay with it, and it's all done behind closed doors. I'm gonna keep. In fact, I know I've said that a few times, but most people, they just don't understand it. And you know, she was really supportive. And people pestered her saying, "Oh, go kill yourself." And guess what? She did. She did. Don't fucking say that shit. Especially not to me, not to Bailey, not to anyone. I don't care if you're serious or if you're joking. You do not say that shit. And Bailey, if you ever see this, believe me when I say that Stephanie had a lot of other things that bothered her besides the abuse and the bullying and stuff. And why can't we all just get along? Well, anyway, that's the negative. That's my rant. So yeah. The Friday Update Season 2 finale is next Friday. And after that I'll blog every now and then. I can't promise it'll be every day or every other day or every week like it was last summer, but I do promise I will keep y'all posted. And in fact, if any of y'all want to be in any of my videos, just, message me. And don't leave it in the comments, because I won't take you seriously, but DM me on Instagram or text me if you have my number, and I'll set it up. So yeah. So be respectful. Don't joke about that shit. Go follow my friend Bailey on Instagram. She's beautiful. She's sweet. Trust me, if you give her a chance, you'll absolutely love her. And I didn't mean to bring anyone down or make anyone uncomfortable with my little rant, but that's just something I had to get off my chest. Again, sorry about my voice, because, allergies. Anyway, I'll see you all next week. See ya.